I think speed, it's funny. Speed is a product feature. Almost always, if you make a service faster, you see that customer conversion increases, retention increases, everything increases. I've seen this all the way from Google, Facebook, Square, DoorDash, every company. Literally, if you can make something faster, if you can make the app faster, the website faster, whatever the case is, it increases. The reality is the same thing applies to companies also, because I mostly worked at companies that were underdogs or small when I joined. And I've seen that cycle times matter a lot. Why? Because the faster you can execute, the far more experiments you can run in a given period of time. And there's a lot of data that shows that what matters is not what experiments you run. What matters is how many experiments you can run in a given period of time and learn from them. So if you can run in a, therefore, when a goal is completely unknown or even it's unknown what to do, I always suggest setting an OKR or a goal such as run at least 6 experiments in a 12-week period, where the goal is to learn from each experiment and get better. And I promise people that if you can run 6 good experiments where each builds on the learnings from the prior one, you'll actually get to a very good place by the end of the quarter, even if you don't know where you're setting out. And so speed means that you can actually run experiments faster and you can learn faster and you can move faster, because competing against large companies, incumbents, I've always been an underdog at underdog companies. The only thing you have going for you is speed. That is your asset. If you lose that, you're done. If you're running experiments at the same pace as your much larger competitor, you're not learning faster. You're not getting better faster. And I think this is why I think speed and size of team are tightly coupled together, because when you want to do something, you need to coordinate. The cost of coordination grows larger and larger, exponentially larger, with more nodes you add, more people you add that you need to coordinate. And there's also free riding, which is a human tendency that inadvertently happens. And I saw this first in I was like undergrad in computer science, and I remember in our one of our course, I think it was compilers, one of the hardest classes. We had a team of 4. And then I think somehow, like middle of the quarter, middle of the semester, a 5th person joined the group. And that 5th person, we were excited initially because we were like, this will help us go faster. But literally bring this person up to speed. And they also saw that we had actually made a lot of progress. So they were there, but they were not really there. They didn't show up for any of our joint brainstorming stuff and so on. So literally, and we were waiting for them. The whole thing went slower by a 5th person joining than just the 4 of us. So we really regretted having this 5th person join us. And so I feel when a team is performing well, and I think I don't know, I don't know I know there is a number called Dunbar's, which is 150 people, but this is like maybe we should call it a Scrivner number or Rajaram number of like 6 people or 8 people. I think beyond that, I think teams stop moving fast because the cost of free riding and the cost of coordination becomes too high. And the best functioning teams, the product teams I've been part of, are just small, tight knit. Also, they share the same cultural values in terms of product development. They are all in simpatico with each other, clearly defined roles and responsibilities. They feel comfortable challenging each other. And you can't challenge each other. The bigger the group goes, the harder it is to do that. In a small, tight knit 6, 7, 8 person group, so I think 8 is the upper bound. I feel I randomly came up with it. 6, I think, is the ideal number, because you're going to have 2 backend engineers, 1 front end engineer, 1 iOS engineer, 1 Android engineer if needed, and then a PM and a designer, something like that, 5 to 7 people, and an analyst, 8 people. There you go. Once you get a quartet instead of a troika. So that's an 8 person team that I think is a tight knit, great, high velocity team. And so what it means is, if your mission is too broad, I think what happens is as leaders, we automatically get, oh yeah, this team is doing well, let's give them a few more people. But by giving them more people, they're actually slowing them down. So what you do is, instead of the mission slowly expanding and scope creep happening, we should take a big mission and break it down into 2 smaller sub missions. It's not like or mini missions. Each of them is owned by a 6 person team or a 4 person team, instead of having a big 10 person team owning something. And I think you'll just see, that's the other thing about high performing teams. They have a very clear definition of success and a clear mission. The more squishier it gets, the harder it is for all of them to see aligned on what success means.